What is going on, Cigar Club family? Welcome to episode number 5 of the Cigar Club podcast. I'm your host, Dave Imber, and joining me today are a few very special guests. Number one, you guys know him, the Palate Prince, David Pugh, all the way in Opelika, Alabama. And for the first time ever on the Cigar Club podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Griff Howie. Griff.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to the cast, brother.
It's only taken 5 episodes, but
listen,
we tried.
We had to get everything warmed up for you before
That's right.
we could bring you in. I'm not going to
work
bring
out
you
all the
into
kinks.
amateur hour.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. We had the first couple episodes went a little amateur hour Cody style. So
Wow.
Yeah.
no,
I thought
I'm
they
kidding.
went great.
No, they did go well. But now we're able to bring the big cheese and into the show. But guys, this is going to be an exciting episode. We have got Aric from Black Star Line Cigars with us that we're going to bring in just a few minutes. I know we've all smoked a few of his cigars, so I'm looking forward to it. Pew, you've got some big claims to make on them, and Griff, I know you enjoy them as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep that ace in the pocket for a little bit. We'll let it build up, and then I'll drop it.
So stay
Nice.
tuned if you want to hear the big claim that Pew has for a specific cigar coming out of Black Star Lines. Griff, when did we shipped Warwick?
I was just trying to think that. It was August or September, I think.
Yeah, it's probably time to bring her back in.
Probably.
I know everybody enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
All right,
it's been a couple months for sure.
It's been a couple months, but now we got Aric on. I'm sure we'll hear some new cool stuff, and he'll be back in the boxes for the summer. But without any further ado, shall we bring in our guest all the way from Chicago, Illinois, Sir Aric Bay. How are you? Black Star Line Cigars, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm Aric Bay from
Great to
Black
see
Star
you,
Line
man.
Cigars.
Thanks for
you
joining
too.
us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Aric, I'm jealous because you're the only one out of the 4 of us who are smoking a cigar right now. None of us planned accordingly. And I'm like looking outside here in Cincinnati, and it's like 65 degrees. It's the ultimate day to be smoking. And I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was supposed to rain
culture.
all day today, so I was like, oh, we're going to set up inside. It's a mild 72 down here in Alabama, and beautiful skies. Could have been outside smoking.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Well,
to do.
we appreciate you taking the bullet for us, Aric. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey, I
He's
try to
taking
do
one
what
for
I
the
can do
team.
whenever I can do it.
And he's
That's
having
right.
a drink at the same time too.
What a
Putting us
savage.
all to shame here.
What a
Doing it
savage.
right.
Yeah.
Aric, we were just saying before you got on, I think it's been several months since we last had one of your cigars in our box. So I know we're going to need to change that. But there's also something that you should know, which is really exciting that I know launches on Thursday that you have no idea about. And it is, we have officially partnered with our friends over at Cigars and Leisure magazine. They're relaunching their magazine, and Antoine Reed and Ben Simpson over there. And we're doing a Cigars and Leisure top 20 cigars of the year powered by Cigar Club and our review portal of the best cigars that were all rated by our members over the course of the past year. And Black Star Line's Warwick is in the top 20. That will go up for it'll go up out to the public on Thursday. Everybody will have a chance to rate on it. I believe it was our number 1 rated Connecticut in all of 2020 that we shipped out.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
So,
I really appreciate that, dude. I'm
Hey,
flattered.
it's no cigar aficionado, but
That's right.
this
That's
is
right.
voted by the people for the people.
Yep.
These are real consumers smoking cigars every single day that they're paying for, and they found insane value, flavor. They love the story, and I know our members are just big fans of Black Star Line. So anyway, I wanted to kick things off and let you know that. So everybody listening, if you haven't already, by the time this comes out, you should be able to go on and vote for your favorite cigar that we shipped out last year on Cigars and Leisure. If Warwick was it for you, make sure you give our good friend Aric the vote. But anyway, let's kick things off. Aric, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know all 3 of us have a lot of questions, so I'll shut up here in just a second. But you've got a really interesting story. You're new in the industry. You're bringing in cigars from factories that I know everyone on this podcast absolutely loves. And I just want to give us the Black Star Line's elevator pitch when you go to meet somebody. What are you all about?
Well, I'm a retired Chicago firefighter from Chicago. I live in Chicago on the South Side. Basically, with Black Star Line Cigars, I started off with two great factories, as you already said, El Tiden de Bronze and then Aganorsa Leaf. So I started with El Tiden de Bronze because I was led there by Jonathan Drew from Drew Estates. So we started doing work with them, and that led me to meeting Sean Williams from Cohiba, the global brand ambassador for Cohiba, and he became my mentor. And Sean Williams is the one that led me to Aganorsa. So the reason why I went to Aganorsa is because I'm a huge fan of Warped. And I watched how Kyle makes his moves, and I saw he does great with LT, he does great with Aganorsa.
Right.
And I love his sticks. So I was like, hey, it's not if I could replicate that or follow in his footsteps, because he's been around way longer than me. I was like, he's not a bad guy to follow. So,
No, not at all.
Nope.
Yeah, Sean Williams hooked me up with Terrence Riley, and that gave birth to Warwich. And the Warwich Corona Box Press, the Warwich Robusto, the Warwich Lancetto. There is a Warwich Perfecto floating around that I may or may not have right here.
Oh, really?
really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got a Perfecto version of it. And then
Hello.
there's a Warwich version with a Corojo wrapper coming.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, Crojo 99 Jalapa? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah,
It's so funny. Dave, was Warped your... I know for me, Warped was my gateway into boutique and just the larger variety of cigars that I didn't know existed. Is it the same for you and Griff?
I think so.
I mean, it was actually for me too.
I know for me it was 2015. It was Warp Cigars. It was La Colmena, La Hacienda, and there was one other. I'm trying to remember, but it was La Hacienda and La Colmena changed the game for me in flavor profile, in packaging, in brand design, in understanding more about the process that I think Kyle's done a great job of showing behind the scenes. And that was the brand that I fell down the rabbit hole and was like, I'm just going to find every other cigar maker making cigars at this Tabsa place because they taste different to me. And Griff, I think yours is similar. Or at least I think I force fed you Warped for a long time.
No, you definitely force fed me Warped. And then I think pair that with HVC was kind of my...
Black Friday.
Kind of my Black Friday, Cero, Serie A, all of those flavor profiles are right down my alley. But Dave and I, and even David, we're all massive Warped fans. We'll always continue to be. And La Colmena is such an amazing stick.
Yeah, we love that one. It's just, I think it's so fascinating when you really deep dive into brands or specific factories, even beyond like countries, when you start to close it into like factories and specific tobaccos that you see different strands of in other people's brands, but they kind of bring you home to that profile that you love. That's what Aganorsa is for me. It's like it's like the cigar I always trusted. If someone's like, hey, have you tried this new brand? I'm like, no. They're like, it's made at Aganorsa. I'm like, all right, I already like it. Like they can't really mess it up.
Yep. Right. That's very true.
What year was that, Aric, when you got linked up with Terrence and started making cigars? Because that had to be difficult, right? Because you came in this post 2016.
Yeah. So we started with El Tiden in 2019, and then started working with Terrence 2020. Because Warwich was released at NFG 2020 in Underground down in Fort Worth. For their
interesting.
So I released the Robusto there, and then the Corona Box Press came shortly after that.
Okay.
So I started working with Terrence like January of 2020 or maybe December of 2019, one of the two. Because Sean Williams connected us together, and then when he found out I was coming through El Tiden de Bronze already, he was just like, "Yeah, dude, that's a no-brainer that we're gonna work with you."
It's the pathway.
It's the rite of passage.
Were you a full-time firefighter at that point still, or were you had already retired?
No, so I was injured on the job, so I was on what's called layup. So as I'm on layup and going to therapy and all that, in between therapy and pain and all that stuff, I will go out and sell cigars. So
nice.
But yeah, I had surgery on my hip, but my labrum was torn really bad. So they had to go in there and fix it and stuff. And then I was on crutches for a month. My wife was yelling at me because I didn't use the crutches. I pretty much got up and started walking.
Yeah.
And then when she found out I could make my way out to the garage and smoke a cigar, she stopped feeling sorry for me. So
shoot. Have you always been big into cigars, or is it like a newfound passion that you just ran with and now have a brand? I'm just really curious.
I guess you would call it newfound because I've only been smoking 6 or 7 years. So I'm a baby compared to a lot of people, you know.
Right.
And I started smoking at the firehouse. One of my buddies got me going. I mean, I had a cigar way before that, like in the Bahamas, but I don't remember that. But,
right.
You know, the first time I actually got a chance to just sit down and like enjoy a cigar was at the firehouse. So, yeah, that's what got me going. I started smoking from a local lounge here, black cherries and stuff like that. Initially, I liked them, but I went to another lounge and I saw that they had Liga Privadas and Dirty Rats and all those things. So I was like, you know, what's up with those? So they were telling me, oh, you know, they're full body cigars. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I think I'm a full body guy, even though I never had one. So I was like, let me check that out, and I liked it. And then I tried to go back and smoke the black cherries again, and it just tasted like trash. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore.
You set a high bar for yourself starting off smoking Ligas.
Yeah. I graduated like really fast.
Yeah.
And then I'm the type of guy when I like something, I really dive head first into it and really learn a lot about it. So I started smoking a lot of different stuff, you know, like Gloria Cubanas, my father's. I mean, on and on, and then I started diving into the boutique realm, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like this, I'm like the boutique is where it's at."
Yep.
So my
the knowledge part of it, my palate changed, and a lot of times I would smoke a cigar, and I'd either be reading about that cigar or reading about another cigar, you know. So I just sat up and just absorbed everything I could in a short period of time, and I think people appreciate that because you can tell that I must have some kind of palate because of the sticks that I'm putting out. You know, right.
So,
I definitely.
So I haven't been smoking that long. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that infused or flavored cigars was your gateway because I know. Do you still sell those?
I do.
You have a line of infused cigars, and so talk to me about that because that's controversial. But we all, Griff, I know you started in the acid world. Is how you first ever got into cigars, right? Yeah. And what's funny? What's going on?
Oh, I'm just laughing at Griff.
Oh,
just the subtle head nod.
Yeah. He didn't want me to talk about that. No, but I think it's really interesting. Cubas. So talk to us.
Cubas was my.
I think Chris on a delay here.
Was my entry.
But Aric, talk to us about that. Why you carry those infused cigars, and what that has done. Does it bring more people into the brand? Are you able to share more cigars with people? What's it all about?
Oh, yeah. So the infused, the story behind that is I was doing events here in Chicago. And basically, I would get newer smokers or friends of mine that don't really smoke that were fearful of like smoking my normal cigars. They thought they were going to be too strong. And they didn't want to buy it and waste their money if they couldn't finish it. So they would ask me, did I have anything mild? And I was like, well, to be honest with you, I'm probably never going to make anything mild because I got to test it out. I got to like it and I got to talk about it. Right. And I don't really rock with anything mild. You know, it just bores me, you know. So I was thinking about it and people were asking about infused cigars. So I was like, all right, well, let me try my hand at that. So I got some tobacco from Aganorsa. So I started with Robustos, now they're 6x60s. And I infused everything here myself. So it was like I was in here like a mad scientist with a coat on, some goggles, doing stuff with flavors, you know, buying stuff off of Amazon and seeing what works and what doesn't. And man,
which one sucked? Which one sucked the most is what I want to know.
To me, all of them are the same. Yeah, they are, bro. They are the same to me. Like I tell people in any interview I do, I hate my own infused cigars, but everybody else loves them. But the thing is, they're not for me. So, I wanted to be able to have people to come to my event and they'll be able to support me and enjoy no matter what I got. You know, and that's the reason why I did it. The vanilla bourbons, those things sell like crazy. You know, like they just love them, and I'm like, oh man,
not for you.
And I'm not. I taste test everything that I have. So it's been nice. I was sitting here just struggling, like, oh man, this. But I
smoke
gotta
it.
go through it, yeah, because I gotta talk about it. You know, so I could talk about it and I could tell you what it tastes like, but I will tell you I don't like them.
Yeah.
Did I miss? Smell, yeah, the smell. Oh man.
Did I hear correctly that you're using tobacco from Aganorsa for those infused cigars?
Yep. So it's actually good tobacco.
That alone is super impressive because most people aren't using high quality or as high quality of a tobacco for infused cigars.
Yep. So it's actually good tobacco that's being used in the cigars, and I think that's another reason why people like it because it's not this long filler. It's not just scraps in the in there and stuff like that. So it's good construction. Is from seed to ash. Even though I perverted it, it's still it's still the good tobacco.
And it's interesting, Aric, to hear you talk about that you don't love mild cigars. I think that's why I love Warwich so much because it makes you rethink Connecticut's that don't all have to be super mild. Like there is so much flavor and there's strength and there's body and there's pepper in Warwich without it kind of going way off balance. Like a lot of people who like ramp up Connecticut's, that problem they have. That's why I love that cigar so much. And I don't want to talk too much about it because I know this is Pew's little baby, this cigar. He loves this one.
Yep. I'm still holding it. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later.
All right.
Yeah. To be honest with you, when I was introduced to Terrence, he asked me to send him whatever blend I wanted to do. I sent him 2 blends. One of them is Warwick, and the other one was another one that didn't turn out like I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But when I say that Warwick, the way it is now was the way it was when I didn't have to make not one change to it at all. Like it was fantastic out the gate. And I remember me and my buddy were sitting right here while I'm sitting and smoking the samples, and I was looking at him like, "Holy fuck! Like this
is option A, 1A," and I'm already saying yes.
Jeez.
And I'm like, man, this is a hell of a steak, And I wasn't, I'm thinking Connecticut, so I'm thinking, it's gonna be not super strong, but like it touched me, and like it was kind of cold outside too, so I had to get up and walk outside a little bit, get a little air on me. So the funny story is when I got Warwick in stock, the Corona box presses, so I was feeling strong that day, so I was like, I hadn't had them since the samples, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna take 2 Warwicks out to the garage, I'm smoking them back to back.
Ooh. So
I came out here, I smoked that first one. I was halfway through, and I was like, ooh, I'm high. So I finished the first one, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait like 10 minutes, have a little something drink, and then I'm gonna start the second one. So I started the second one, got halfway through that one, and I was like, oh you fucked. I was like, you fucked.
That's a bad idea.
Mistake, abort.
So I was like, I ain't no punk, so. You started it, so you gotta finish it. So I finished it, right? So I got a long side drive up the side of my house, driveway. Boy. So my wife was driving up, and I was locking the garage. So when I was walking out, I stumbled, and I was like, "Oh shit! I know she saw that."
Can't hide that one.
I was like, "I know she saw it." So she get out, and she's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." So when we get to the side door, it's a light right above the side door. So she saw my eyes, and she was like, "Are you high?" And I was like, "Yeah."
On this damn cigar.
I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I smoked 2 War, which is I was like, they got me. Like, I was high after that. Yeah. So if you're not ready for the Warwick, it'll get you.
How did you come up with the name Warwick? Where does that come from?
Warwick is actually a movie. So it was filmed in the Congo, and it's about a young lady that has spiritual powers to be able to see her ancestors. So what the local army did was they took her with them. And when they were getting ready to get attacked, her ancestors would show up and they would warn her like, "Hey, they're getting ready to come. Y'all need to run or come up with some type of strategy to win that battle." So that's why I named it that, because I really liked the movie. And, it was a great movie. If anybody wants to see it, you can find it on Amazon Prime.
Cool.
Oh, there you go.
Now I want to smoke a Warwick and watch Warwick.
Yeah, I have to jump into it. I can't. It's too perfect of a segue. So Warwick was my number 3 cigar that I smoked in 2020. Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Phenomenal cigar. For anyone that doesn't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Connecticut shade wrapper, Nicaraguan Criollo, and Nicaraguan Jalapa and Esteli for the filler.
Yep.
Shit, no wonder it knocks you on your ass.
Yeah, exactly,
98
right?
and Esteli.
Completely.
That's it.
Went in with an expectation of this is going to be a Connecticut, and it is so much more than just a Connecticut. I was like, oh, this looks like it's going to be a mild cigar. It's medium plus, just multiple transitions, and just the flavor that I got from that cigar was unlike anything else that I've tasted in a Connecticut wrapper. I've talked about it numerous times with Dave and Griff, just how much I love that cigar. It's mind blowing and game changing.
Pew, did you smoke it the latter half of 2020?
I have it. I'll tell you the exact day. I've got it pulled up on my phone. I smoked it November.
Probably got a damn photo of himself
2020. I'll hold it up.
There it is.
What'd you pair it with?
I paired it with a first crew. Nope. First. Thanks, Dave.
I had to leave.
A first crew Chablis, and it was mind blowing of a pairing. Chablis had some vegetal notes to it, a little minerality, and it paired perfectly with the War Witch. But
Chablis, is that champagne or what is Chablis?
It's Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I don't drink a lot of wine or champagne.
Pairings.
Yeah, I'm a Scotch and whiskey.
Oh, I am too. The world of wine is my newfound adventure. But yeah, bourbon is Scotch are my ways.
You're a bourbon guy too, Eric?
I'm
mainly
Scotch. A Scotch guy. Yeah, okay. I drink Scotch 95% of the time, but I've been dabbling more so with bourbon. So because actually the pairing for Woolwich that I found that I was surprised with was 4 rows of single barrel. The backup to that is Eagles Rare, or Eagles Rare, or Old Forester 1920.
That's
Prohibition.
A great one.
Those 3 are very good with Woolwich.
Yeah.
Is there a Scotch?
Yeah, I could see that.
Is there a Scotch that you like with that?
With Warwich,
I think because it would have to be like a Highland Scotch
would be great
in my head.
Yeah, maybe
what about the
Glenfarclas 10 I'm drinking right now. Maybe I
what
haven't
about
had
the Balvenie?
A lot of scotches with it.
The 14 rum cask, the Balvenie
Caribbean cask.
Caribbean cask.
Yeah, it's Caribbean cask. I haven't had Balvenie Caribbean cask in a long time.
Okay.
Last time I had it was at a bar, and we could smoke it. In Chicago, you can't smoke inside unless you're at a cigar
lounge.
One of the coolest lounges I ever went to was what's that? The Mansion, Biggs in Chicago.
Yeah.
You go? Is that one of your spots? I couldn't get the vibe in there. I'm like,
no.
It's a little stuffy. It's a little stuffy. But they had a great selection. It's where I found like anytime I want, like when I was up there before I worked in cigars, and I'd go up there every once in a while, and if I ever needed like a limited warped release, Biggs always had.
They
it.
got warped in there. Yeah. With Biggs, I think it's if you want to go upstairs, you had to pay $75 or $85 for the day, and that's on top of whatever cigars that you purchase. And it just depends on what purpose you're going there for. Because if you're going there and you want to try to run into like Steve Harvey or when R. Kelly was free, he used to smoke there. Like it's I think you like that.
Crazy.
Trapped in the closet.
Shout out to R. Kelly.
I did not expect that.
Let that man out the closet.
If you're looking to run into like some celebrities, because I ran into the battalion chief for Chicago Fire and the actual writer for the show in there, and I gave him a couple of my cigars so they could smoke them. So you run into some affluent people in there. That's what you're looking for,
right?
That's not really my scene.
Right.
Yeah, that's not my scene. Like my favorite spots to smoke at are Up Down and Casa de Monte Cristo and Countryside. Those are the spots I go to. But my absolute favorite spot is the Black Star Line Lounge because it's 10 feet away from my house. So
oh man, that's
dangerous. And you got free cigars in there.
Oh yeah.
None of this retail crap.
My personal collection is very expensive.
Right.
So
Yes.
Eric, are you familiar with Few Spirits? Are you friends with Paul Letko at Few Spirits?
Few. We've been following each other for a long time. I don't know any of them personally.
Yeah,
I love to meet.
I've got to set you up with Paul.
All here.
Yeah,
Okay.
It must have been 5 or 6 months ago. I flew out to Chicago just to meet with Paul, and we did a bunch of barrel tasting and whiskey blending, and we smoked cigars. And Griffo, like 4 or 5 months ago, we released a single barrel bourbon with Few for Cigar Club. And he's just one of the nicest guys that just wants to collaborate with people, learn more about your craft. And I should definitely, I think that'd be really cool to connect you guys. I think you'd enjoy that. I really wish I was
probably not a far drive either.
Yeah, probably not.
Me too.
Because Scotch is all available. There's none of this like secondary BS with Scotch.
No, not yet.
Me and Griff are like in a deep bad place with bourbon.
Okay.
See, and I was in that place maybe 2 years ago, and then it just evolved into Scotch. So it'll happen. It'll happen.
Now, my favorite bourbon is John J. Bowman.
John J. Bowman?
Yeah, John J. Bowman. That was excellent. It's distilled in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
And you know what that is, right?
No, what is it?
It is Buffalo. It's made by Buffalo Trace in Virginia.
Okay.
So it's like it's essentially it's the mash bill of Eagle Rare, I believe, but proofed at what they proof BT at. Anyway, it's kind of like tastes like you're drinking, because I've got the single barrel J. Bowman and the small batch, and when you do them blind next to Eagle Rare and Buffalo Trace, it's almost like you mix the two of them together, and that's what John J. Bowman.
Well,
when I found that out, I was like, "This is why I love it." Yeah. Yes, that explains why you like Eagle Rare. Exactly.
Yeah, because I like Eagles Rare a lot, So, and then like that's coming from I'm not really a bourbon guy, but I like Eagles Rare a lot. So.
That's a solid choice.
Well, and Scotches, I'm a peaty guy. Arbeg, Lefroy, Kalila, Big Pete when I can get it. But I was at Benny's and they said they stopped carrying it. I almost slapped the sales rep. I think it's a blend, but it's a great blend.
Peated Scotch tends to be very, difficult to pair with a cigar. Usually it overtakes it. Like it takes the right cigar to be able to, in my opinion, pair it with a peated Scotch.
With my Mexican San Andreas, the official pairing is a PC10 from Brooklotic.
Okay.
So it's not as smoky as say like an Arbeg or Lefroy, but it's got a smoke aspect to it. So with the smokier, the peatier ones, you gotta do like a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, because the wrapper and the flavor in the wrapper can kind of handle the peat. And it has got to be a full body cigar. If you're going something lighter than that, then like you said, the drink's gonna eat it a lot.
Yep.
But I got real good at pairing stuff. Like with the blue one that I'm smoking now, the Sun-Grown Habano, the pairing for that is the Brook Lottie Classic Lottie. There's the Tiffany color
I love
bottle.
that cigar. I think I like that cigar even more than Warwick. The blue label one.
The blue one's a beast.
I mean, that cigar is like right in my exact flavor profile that I cannot get enough of. The first time I smoked that, I was like, my God, this cigar was made for me.
The one from Aganorsa.
Yeah. We need to get that back in
rotation. Stop holding back on us, man. What's happening?
When I say this blue one from Aganorsa, it was like flavor crystals.
So it's the same. It's going to be the same band, or it'll be like the Warwick. Okay, cool.
So I don't know if you saw the basic band when I had the Toros from El Tiden de Bronze. It was just it was black in the middle, and it had blue stripes or red stripes on the top. Oh yes,
I saw those.
That was the original band. Yep. Yeah, that was the original band. So what I did was I combined the original band with this band. So it's that band with this Black Star logo in the middle of it instead of the 4 types of stars. So it's a hybrid of both of them, But those blends that are coming out of there, the red one's almost identical, and then the blue one is better. So I was blown away. Like I had one of my buddies smoking it, and his favorite is the San Andreas, and he was like, "Yeah, I think my favorite is this new blue one now."
Dude, that blue one is everything. It's everything. It's classic. It's super cinnamony, which I love. It's sweet. It's a little spicy. It's like it's what you wanted. It's what you always want Cuban cigars to taste like in 2021, and they don't even taste anywhere near that. But it's like what you want them to taste like. That's what they take. Anyway, I'm obsessed with that cigar. I could smoke it every day.
It's a good everyday smoke. And a funny story about that, I was sitting in Havana ATL in Atlanta, And my brother Rafa, he owns the shop. So, but he historically he's Cuban, so he pretty much all smokes Cuban. So he was trying out the blue one, so he was smoking it. He was like, "Man, this is good, but it's strong." And I was like, "It is."
You want to see strong, bro? Why don't you smoke these Warwiches
back to back,
and then try and walk?
Yeah, I was like, this cigar isn't strong. It's just real, it's a medium full maybe, and it's real flavorful from beginning to end, So, I actually have some original versions of it. The Toros just aged in the house. Like, I smoked one that had been aged since it came out. I found one at a lounge and I bought it, and I was cool. Whoa! I was like, it aged so well.
I'm sure it would.
It's sitting for a while really does it some justice.
Mm-hmm. And Aric, we were talking a lot about pairings, and I saw you just released the Warwich Coffee collab. That's really exciting because I feel like we have a lot in common, like CigarClub as we and Aric with Black Star Line, between the factories that you've worked with, the cigars you're putting out, and like we released a coffee last year with a roaster here in Cincinnati. And the featured pairing for the coffee was Warwich. And that was what we released on we did a big live thing with Bovida on their live show. And I was like, drink this coffee, smoke a Warwich with it. It's the best pairing that we could find.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that coffee. Who's roasting it? How'd you come out to doing that? And what's the story on it?
So Ethnos Coffee out of Memphis is roasting the coffee for me. It's an Ethiopian coffee. It's a light roast. I'm not even a coffee guy, because it's like coffee is too hot for me to drink right away. So, I I just pour out the bottle and I start drinking like scotch or whatever. So it's ready made. It's ready to go.
Just taking it right from the bottle. We're not even pouring it.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes some nights it's like that.
For sure.
It's just a big glass. That's all. So, one of my frat brothers is in Memphis, and I was supposed to do this collaboration with Dark Matter Coffee here, but they kept blowing. We got to the point that they sent me samples. I gave them my credit card number, everything, and then they just went radio silent on me and stopped responding to me, and so on and so forth. So then I reached out to Sip and Savor, which is another pretty large coffee shops here. And he was saying, "Oh, well, I'm opening up 2 new shops and too busy to do it," so on and so forth. So I was talking to my frat brother Dion in Memphis, and he was like, "I got somebody for you." He was like, "Just give me a few days." And then he introduced me to Kenny, who owns Ethnos Coffee. So he and I were talking, and he smokes at Smokers Abbey. So he was like, "I'm gonna go get it." Smokers Abbey's Memphis. Yeah. So he's like, "I'm gonna go get Warwich from Smokers Abbey, and I'll smoke it, and we'll see what we do." So he smoked it, and he was blown away by the stick. So he was like, "Okay, I got some ideas on what to do with the coffee." So before I can get down, because I did some events in Memphis, before I got down there, my whole little Memphis crew down there, they're doing all the pairing for me before I even got there. Like they tested out at least 3 or 4
your people
before I got
people.
Yeah. So when I got there, they were down to 2. And the one that we picked was the version that we have right now, because I actually got a chance to taste it. And like I said, I'm a coffee novice, but if something's good, it's good.
Right.
Yep. And when I tasted it, I was like, even just the aroma of the beans alone, when I opened up the bag, I was like, damn. Like this, it normally when I smell beans, it just smells like coffee. Right. But the aroma on these, like you could smell like the citrus and the key lime pie or lemon squares. You could smell that in there. And even if you don't like key lime pie or lemon squares or whatever, it just smells delicious, And then what I did was they gave me a sample bag to come back. So I surprised another one of my buddies that does a cigar podcast on Instagram. I surprised him with a Warwich and a cup of the coffee, the beans. Yeah. So he didn't even have a grinder. So he ran and bought a grinder immediately because he smelled them and he was like, "Oh, I gotta get this brewing up." So he brewed it up and he was like, he drank 4 cups in a row.
Damn. The tagline on the coffee is so good I didn't dump it out for scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good, I actually drank it.
Get a new sticker on the product.
Right. Yep. But yeah, it's a great coffee, you know. And then like I said, this is coming from. I'm not even a coffee guy, so
Right.
You know.
Yeah, reading the tasting notes on this, I'm gonna need to get a bag. Notes of, you hit the nail on the head though, or you knew what you were talking about. Notes of key lime pie and lemon squares. This coffee is naturally sweet with a smooth citrus that sits on the tongue. That is perfectly up my alley and kind of the roast that I look for. So
yeah. So it's a great partnership. You know, I'm waiting for the bags to get here to me so I can fulfill orders that people have already purchased. But if somebody purchased through Ethnos, he has them there already. So if you purchase through them, he's already shipped. So, but yeah, it's like I said, it's a good pairing with that stick, and not only that, it's a good standalone coffee. You know, so. It's just with me, I'm impatient, so I have to wait for it to cool down a little bit because I'm always scared of burning my taste buds, and then if I can't taste a cigar, then I'm pissed. So,
been there. I really want this coffee. Take a sip. Oh, it's about 185 still, and there goes the rest of your day.
I think I'm the opposite. I have to have it scolding for me to like it.
Popping hype.
Really?
Yeah.
Hyping.
I don't know why. Yeah. I've got to burn my mouth for me to enjoy it.
Oh my god.
Great.
But sometimes I find sorry, go ahead, Griff. Go ahead.
Aric, I'm curious. Coffee, what's next for Black Star? What's on the horizon? Anything you can share with us?
Well, you know, Lalibela is coming out at the same time with the El Milagros. The Warwick Lancero is coming back. I got 2,000 of those coming back.
Can we have them all?
We'll grab them.
Can we get them all, please?
The initial
I really wasn't joking.
I wish I could sell you them all. You know?
Shoot.
We'll take this offline here in a second.
If you haven't,
You just
if you
stick
haven't
around
had
in the
the
lounge.
Warwick Lancero, that's if you like that Vitola, it's killer.
We all do.
Vitola.
And our members
all.
love that Vitola too. They really do.
Yeah, but Lalibela is the next new
Lalibela, I don't
release
know
from
that.
us.
Okay.
So Lalibela is they're churches that were built. They're stone churches that were built into the ground in Ethiopia. Lalibela is also the name of a saint, and he's also was the king of the area. So I thought it was a cool story, and the buildings look like they could be, you know, one of the wonders of the world, you know. So I thought that would be a cool thing because, you know, I like to do outside El Milagro, I like to do African themed stuff, sort of like with Foundation, like when Nick does Haile Selassie, you know, and Ethiopian stuff. He's real big with doing Ethiopian stuff. So, but everything, I didn't just choose Ethiopia because of him. I just chose Ethiopia because it's in Africa, and like I like to do African-based themes. Even with Black Star Line, that's Marcus Garvey, and Marcus Garvey was tied to Ghana. You know, that's the name of the company. So that's why I named the cigar Lalibela. But so it's a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. The binder is Criollo 98, and then it's Condega and Palapa in the filler.
Interesting.
Wow.
So so it's I'm coming out with two sizes, a 6x60 and also a Toro size for those that don't like bigger ring gauges. So I'm doing a bigger ring gauge in this because a lot of people kept asking me, are you going to come out with a bigger ring gauge? And I'm like, I don't particularly care for them.
Yeah,
right.
You know, it's just too big for me. But even when I smoked that particular Vitola, I actually didn't mind it. You know, like because the blend was good.
Right.
So I'm really because I haven't smoked the Toro size yet. So I'm really interested in how that Toro's coming out because that if it's good in 6x60, it's gonna be fantastic.
Killer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be the expression of that wrapper will be even greater on it. That's so interesting, Aric. It's really fascinating with someone who's like you had said, 6 or 7 years you've been smoking cigar. You've had the brand for going on, I guess, 2.5 or so years now.
No, it's like a year and 8 months.
Oh, roughly. There we go. A year and 8 months. Even better to my point of people, you can do, if this is a passion of yours, if this is something you want to do, there's people in the cigar industry that will meet you with open arms and say, hey, I'll help you out. Hey, I'll bring you here and do this. It's been it's the story of a lot of boutique brands. It's been the story with CigarClub and us being able to make a lot of exclusive cigars and our new customs line that we have, where we're getting to try our hand at blending because we've met amazing brands and manufacturers. We're like, sure, like come on down, like we'll show you. We'll start working on some samples. Like, what do you want it to taste like? And I just love that there's still brands popping up now, even a year and 8 months ago when there was still some uncertainty with the FDA, that you're still going for it. And it's like, man, this is something I love, something I really want to do. I've met the right people who are passionate about it and who have become friends. And I'm doing it. I'm living my dream and making incredible cigars. I think it's just such a really cool story and encouraging for all of people listening, I'm sure.
Out of all the industries I worked in, I was a banker for Chase. Oh wow! I got two master's degrees. I'm halfway through law school. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep for Eli Lilly. As you know, I'm a retired firefighter. My anniversary just passed. We were for 7 years on the job. So, but the cigar industry, like the love I was shown just by mentioning that I wanted to come out with a cigar, and when I say love, I mean it's heavy hitters. I mean, you got Pete Johnson. Mm-hmm. He's giving me advice. Skip Martin and Mike Rosales, they gave me advice. I've talked to Lito Gomez, Sean Williams. I mean, I actually did my homework on and talking to people and getting to know people. James Brown, he's from a Black Label Trading Company. We were just talking the other day, because he started following me and he hit me up in the DM on Instagram, and he was like, "Hey, I looked at your page, bro," and he was like, "The brand and the pictures," and he was like, "Dude, it's great. It's like you're doing a great job, man. Keep it up." So I get a lot of love from people that are doing a damn good job in the industry, man. And I really appreciate it. And but I do the same thing. I'm like, if the love is shown to me, if it's somebody else is coming behind me and they reach out to me, I don't hesitate. Here's my number. Call me. If there's something you need to know, if there's something I could do, let me know, because that's what was done for me. JD, Willie Herrera, all of them. All of them. They just embrace me.
I think we've talked about that too before, Dave. Just how awesome it is that everyone learned from someone and passing that knowledge down, because it would be so easy for these blenders and manufacturers to be like, no, we're keeping that a trade secret, or we're not going to reach out and help you out. And for the most part, I've seen just incredible stories of them open up their arms and taking people under their wings and passing on that knowledge.
Jonas from Blackbird, I went to one of his events because he was here in Chicago, and I went. I had no idea he was going to be there. I had no idea what he looked like, and I didn't even know his name. I just went to the event because there was a rep there that I was potentially going to work with. And Jonas was there, and he found out I had a line, and he came and sat with me and just poured into me about how to get the best prices with bands or boxes.
Oh, cool.
This is how you do this, and this is how you do that. Here's my number. If you got any questions, call me.
Wow.
That's incredible.
So yeah, man, it's a great industry, man, and it doesn't matter what color, race, creed, or your income level. It doesn't matter. It's all about the leaf.
Yep. Exactly.
Great.
Griff, what were you going to say?
I think I was just going to tell him he should do more with his life. His track record's pretty lame. So I'm like, golly, my accomplishments over here are like, half a sticky note, and Aric could write a book over here.
Well, my parents were educators. So my father was he started off as a teacher at a high school that's a real rough area in Altgeld Gardens, the area. It's a military school now, but when he was working there, it was rough. So he was a teacher there all the way up to he became the principal when he retired. And then my mother also was a teacher as well, not at the same school, but she was a teacher, and she ended up as a child psychologist. So I still came out crazy as shit, but
halfway through your law degree is amazing.
That's incredible. I bet
that's exciting.
The words "I quit" have probably never been uttered by yourself, just based off everything that you've done and are doing. So it's inspirational.
Yeah. Only reason why I haven't finished law school is I was in the middle of law school, and my father called me, and he said, "Hey, you got a letter from the fire department, Chicago Fire Department." And I was like, "Okay, what do they want?" So he opened it for me, and he said they want to proceed with giving you the job. So the story behind that is I had took the test 7 years before that. So it was so long ago that I forgot I even took the test. Because here in Chicago, like being a Chicago firefighter is like
makes me feel real safe in Chicago.
Yeah.
I took that.
Because thousands of people.
Oh man, his house is burning down.
Can you imagine getting your job acceptance letter 7 years later?
That's wild.
Wow. It's a coveted job here in Chicago, man.
Yeah, like, Chicago PD is real deal.
Yeah. So when they mentioned that, when they sent the letter, I had to make a decision because I was the age cutoff for Chicago is 38, and at the time I was 37. So it was either take the job
Probably
or not.
why I got the letter.
So
yeah.
And it's a lot of broke lawyers out here, But so I was like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and try my shot at being a firefighter, man. And it was quite.
Did you enjoy it?
The best job. Yeah, I love it. I miss it every day. I still got my gear sitting here. I haven't turned it in yet because I'm just turning it in. Eventually, they'll make me turn it. They're gonna have to make me turn it.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna have to come and get it. Just keep it till then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Wow. We know a handful of firefighters, especially in the Cigar Club member family world. And they all love being firefighters. There's this like brotherhood that comes with it.
Yeah,
and,
it's a great job, man.
And they all smoke cigars.
Job.
Yeah,
maybe that's also why we have so many in our club. They all smoke cigars. Like shit, just gonna go start pounding the pavement, man. Firehouse to firehouse, selling.
Waiting for the call, slamming sticks.
The mini chimneys.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite houses I used to work at was on 16th and Pulaski. It's a rough area. I don't know if you heard of the rapper named Twista. But
love me some Twista.
That's where he's from. It's called K-Town. So I love to work over there because they get fires. You get a lot of medical work because there's a lot of there's a lot of drugs over there. So a lot of heroin overdoses and stuff. But the reason why I like working there is because they start smoking cigars at the firehouse at 8:30 in the morning. So
that's what's up.
yeah, we just smoke all day long.
All day.
What else do you do?
Just not multiple.
Clean the trucks and smoke and wait for calls.
Yep. Yeah, wait for the fires, smoke, start a fire in your cigar. Yeah,
It was the perfect pre-job for getting into cigars because you had all that time to smoke other people's cigars. Wow, that's so interesting.
They wanted me to transfer to that house, and I would have fit in great there because I knew everybody there on all 3 shifts. But I didn't have enough seniority to get the house because that house is a very good house, highly sought out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, So I tried to get it, but the truck that I retired from was a fantastic truck as well. So
were you a driver?
No, I wasn't. I was training to be a driver when I got hurt. So,
okay,
man.
But yeah, we go. That particular truck goes into an area called Roseland, and Roseland does burn like the west side, which is where the house I was talking about is from. So I got a lot of work through that truck as well. I'd be up on somebody's roof, cutting holes in the roof, and we busting out walls, and
that's wild.
Sometimes we get a call for one fire, and we show up, and it's all this 3. The house in the middle is on fire, but the houses next to him caught on fire too. So it wasn't just one fire; it's 3. So so I've seen a lot of like really messed up stuff.
Wow. I can imagine.
I'm over here just answering emails in my pajamas.
Well, that's what I do now too.
Sorry, there was a crack in your wrapper.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There's a shipping delay. Wow.
Hey, you're outing your own fires over there.
I know. So true.
Oh, man.
A little less severe though.
Pew, you haven't asked your infamous question to Aric, and I think he's going to have a crazy answer.
I know he will. Yeah. So I'll go into my spiel just real quick. I always believe in always be learning. So always having something that you're working on, striving towards, whether that be personal or professional. Anything in your personal or professional life that you're learning that's completely new for you?
That's completely new. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I'm always working on tobacco. Like I don't really smoke the same thing at all. And I tell people all the time, like I said, I have an extensive personal collections. I'm always buying something.
Right.
And like I can literally smoke. I do smoke at least 3 cigars a day. I can smoke 3 different cigars a day for 2 weeks and not smoke the same brand. So, and that's why my palate had developed so fast because I don't really smoke the same thing. Like, and people ask me all the time, like, "Yo, do you smoke Black Star Line all the time?" I'm like, hell no. Like, that's like, of course I love them because they're my babies, but that's like the same meal your favorite meal, eating it every day. How boring would that be? you know,
Right.
or your favorite scotch or your favorite bourbon. You just drink that, and
Right.
that's it.
Mhm.
You're gonna get bored
Right.
with it, or your palate
Right.
trap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the main things that I do is I don't, you know, I'm always looking for different blends to smoke, good or bad. Like I've had a bunch of people give me cigars, smaller lines, and you know they were bad, and you know, and so
You just smile through it.
Thanks so much.
But you know what I do?
Thanks so
though?
much.
You know what I do is when they try to give me the cigar, I try my best not to let them just give it to me. I buy it, you know, and that way, if I don't like it, and when I give you the feedback, at least you got paid for it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
For sure.
So, and I also want to do that because I want to give all the uncut raw on whatever is going on with the cigar. Because they just give it to me, and then I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, it's
you know,
good.
it doesn't hit my palate. You
It
know,
doesn't
I
do
may
them
just
any
give you-
good.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
But if I pay for it, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
Just lights into it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had one of my buddies is a firefighter. They decided to come out with some cigars, and he wanted to give them to me, and I was like, no, I'm gonna buy them from you. So I bought them from him, and I smoked them, and I texted him, and it wasn't it wasn't a pleasant text, but he needed to hear it. So you know, so I gave him my honest feedback. I gave him feedback on people that were around me that, you know, didn't like the smell of the cigar. You know, like, you know, I gave them everybody's feedback from what I was doing and people around me, you know. So I gave them so that I can help them out, you know, because I was like, you my buddy, and I'm not gonna let you, you know, just fall on the sword before you even really get going, you know. So
For sure, because you want them to be successful as well, or be the best version of whatever that could be for them, and wouldn't be right.
Oh yeah.
That's hard in and of itself to be able to say that to people sometimes. But how much better is their product going to be because somebody was honest to them? You know,
because I've sent all three: the Sun Negron Habano, Mexican San Andreas, and Woolwich. I've sent all three to Skip Martin because I know he knows tobacco.
Yeah, I was going to ask you: do you have a Is he who's like your you know inner circle
True
tasting
north
panel that you say, hey, every time I'm working on something, this guy or this group of people, they get them, and if they say you're crazy, these taste like shit, then I go back. Do you have like that group of people that you can bounce cigars off of?
Oh yeah. Like my buddy Cliff, he's the manager at Robusto's Tobacco House in Atlanta. Unfortunately, it was actually Lithonia, Georgia. Unfortunately, the lounge burned down. It burned down like 4 months ago.
Wow.
Somebody threw a hot ash in the garbage can when they were closing, and by the time they got back, it was
that's horrible.
The lounge was gone.
No way.
Yeah. So they're rebuilding it, and actually, Rob is the owner. Bravo actually approached him about a what do you call it? A reality show.
Sick.
On the rebuild and on his life and all this stuff. So, I was actually down there at his house when I just went to Atlanta. I was down at his house while they were filming, and the producer approached me about potentially being in the episode as well. So you maybe see my ugly mug on there as well. But this dude, like Rob, like his main house was 10,000 square feet. And then the guest house was 2,000 square feet. And then he's
take a guest house, please.
He's putting a vineyard in his backyard. I was like, man, what's this guy? I need to sell some more cigars. You know? So, but yeah, I let him try the Maduro Warwich because he's got a great palate. Rob, Cliff smokes them. That's my local friends that I'll let them try because I trust their palate. And then when I want to go further, I'll send it to Sean Williams or I'll send it to Skip, and I'll let them try it. JD smoked my stuff before too, but he's just so hard to catch up with. I can't get any feedback from him. So I try not to send him a lot of stuff because I won't hear nothing about it. You know.
Man, well, this has all been super fascinating. I think I can say people are going to be wildly entertained by by this. I think you could
Yeah,
just tell
I hope so.
the story of you smoking two Warwiches back to back for an hour, and people would find it wildly entertaining. But Aric, we're like, we carried Warwich last year. I know as a team, we're really excited to carry more and more and more Black Star Line cigars as the year goes on this year, and share your story with our members, share your cigars with them. Obviously your passion for this industry and just your background. And that, to me, like when people are smoking a cigar, but they know the person behind it and they know what went into it in the factory and they piece it all together, how much better is your smoking experience then? And I think this podcast and other outlets are such a great place to be able to share that. So from us, we really appreciate you making some time to just come talk to us and
thank you
and have a good time and share insights into life and cigars. And that's what this is all about. For us.
When I saw you all had a podcast, that's how I reached out immediately. Like, hey, bro, I know you want me to come on.
Yep.
I know. We had just got done finishing this because this is our 5th episode, but at this point we've only like released 2. We got that text from you after releasing 1. I'm like, oh, cool. Somebody like saw this and actually wants to talk to us for an hour. Wow. So anyway, that was really exciting for us equally. And we really appreciate it. I don't know, Griff or Pew, if you guys have any final thoughts or questions for Aric.
Appreciate the time, Aric. I'm going to go to the warehouse after this.
For TPE.
You what?
I'm building up for TPE. I got a booth at TPE. So,
we'll be there.
So we go smoke together there. Yeah.
Hey, you bet. I just sneak a couple Lanceros in with you and that Corojo Warwich, and
we'll be talking good.
And if you don't have it, I'm just gonna like break down your booth until I find it. So
it's all in Aganorsa's hands right now. So they got to give me the product now.
We'll text Terrence.
We'll get him on the horn.
Everybody,
we got to get Terrence on the podcast. Yeah. That'd be the fastest podcast of all time.
It would be.
The old speed talker.
That's Joe Osteen. So,
Joel.
Boom, boom.
It'll be some scriptures in there. He'll talk about Croho 2012 that they got coming. He'll talk about the 98.
Roma
it'll be a good one.
Profile.
Yeah. Terrence is amazing.
We love working with Aganorsa. Wow, fascinating. Pew, anything?
No, just absolutely incredible story. Really inspirational and that kind of never quit hustle grind, mentality that you had to have to be able to do everything that you've done and were doing, to also coming with your own cigar line as well as our main brand is just incredible. And appreciate you having me on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aric.
So Aric, we'll see you in Vegas and maybe in Chicago one of these days. Whenever we're back up that way, it'd be a good time.
Yeah, you got my number, man. If I'm in town, I'll definitely meet up with you.
We'll make it happen. All right, man. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk with you soon.
Take care.
All right.
Man.
Thank you.
Man.
Wow. What a story.
What a guy.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Really neat.
That was really cool.
He
my jaw hurts. Like trying to stretch out my jaw from laughing and smiling.
Yep. This will be one that you have to watch the video alongside it to just see us cracking up.
I really just want him to keep telling that Warwich story. I'm gonna have to cut that up.
Put him and Cody together. They'd have a heck of a time. So what we're saying is Cody needs to be smoking 2 Warwiches.
We should make Cody smoke back-to-back Warwiches and video.
Oh yeah,
he'd be green. He would be green. Wow. Well,
that would be fun.
Gents, another great episode here. And look, we kept it under an hour. I'm so proud of us.
Griff, thanks for joining us.
No, I apologize. I had
dark side, brother.
A little technical difficulties. Maybe that's why I haven't been invited yet. But
it happens.
Appreciate it, and had a good time.
Because you hold the mic the whole time.
Yeah, correct.
All right. Well, Cigar Club family, thank you guys so much for listening. This really has been an entertaining and fascinating Cigar Club podcast interview and episode. As always, make sure you like this video, subscribe to us on either Apple Music or Spotify. Maybe we'll find some other outlets here soon that we'll be on as well. Thank you as always for sharing these every single Tuesday morning. These will be released. And if you guys have ever have any questions or you want to see a guest on the show, shoot us an email.
Let us know.
We just want to make this better and better, bring you guys behind the curtain to this incredible industry to continue to meet these incredible people. Pew, Griff.
It's a pleasure.
And
until next time. Absolutely.
Happy smoking.
Happy smoking.